Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Senna.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we're taking a look at Trismegistus,
which is a new heavy Euro game from designers Daniele Tascini and Federico Pirlo-Lorenzi, published by Board&Dice.
It plays from 1 to 4 players in 90 to 120 minutes.
So this was one of the games that I was most anticipating for this year because it's a heavy Euro game from Daniele Tascini, which is something that we usually enjoy.
Yeah, and it's hard to pronounce, so that's a plus, obviously.
Yeah, like Teotihuacan was
Yes.
last year, and this is Trismegistus, probably, or something. I think this is easier to pronounce in some way. So in this game, you are alchemists. And you're trying to do different experiments to get victory points. Theme. So you are alchemists, and what this game is a dice drafting game. So you're going to draft dice from a pool of dice. They're going to be different colors and different symbols. You're going to draft a die you want, and you're going to get potency for that die depending on the amount of that symbol there is in the pool. And then you can do different actions. You can perform experiments, you can transmute ingredients to be better ingredients, you can get essence which you need to transmute, you can do all of these different things, which basically what you're trying to do is to get the alchemical ingredients that you need to perform experiments and also get publications that you will try to build up to over the game and score end of game victory points. Isn't that basically what you're doing in the game? So it is, as I said, you draft a die and you do one of the actions, and then after you've done the action, and you can do one of free actions, which is performing the experiments and a couple of other ones, which we're not going to go into detail, then other players can follow you with follow tokens, which you start with 2 and you can get more. So you basically you don't always need the dice that you really want to do something, because you can do it for other players' actions. And that is basically what you are doing in a game.
Yeah.
But it is a super heavy game, a game with a lot of things that need to work in order. You need to do this before this, and then you really think like, oh no, I can do this thing, but I don't have that special essence. I need to be able to do that, and no, all my actions are screwed because to get that essence, I need to get that dice or hope that you will draft that dice, and that never happens. So in a game like this, you need a good rulebook, right?
Yeah.
So,
you really need a good rulebook.
Let's start with the worst part about this game.
The rulebook.
Rulebook. I heard so much bad thing about the rulebook. Like everyone was saying like this is the worst rulebook ever. Then I read the rulebook before I play the game, just like I used to do. I don't put the components on the table. I just like to read through the rulebook and try to get a sense of the game. I felt like this makes sense. It wasn't a really bad rulebook, I felt. And then we tried playing the game. And then nothing made sense. Like I was like, what is this? What does this do? How does this work? What does this do? And we spent so much time the first time we played, right?
Yeah.
Like the first time we played was a mess.
Yeah, and there's no like logical player aid. There's kinda a little player aid, but and I actually tried to read this rulebook because I wanted to know how bad it was. And what I struggle the most with is like you kinda explain it in like the first half, all of it, but then you explain more of the rules in the
Yeah, so it has this kind of you have like the basic game, like how it works. First of all, there's 28 steps of setup.
That's a lot.
And it isn't that, it just feels so much when it's that much. So it has like the round structure and actions, and then after that there's further game rules, which explains everything. So you have the actions, but it doesn't really explain all of the rules for the action, and then it explains everything somehow in these pages. But the main problem isn't that the rulebook is horrible, it's that the rulebook together with the graphic design on the game makes it hard to play, because there's some graphic choices which is like unintuitive, and some things are just there and makes you confused, like what does this do, what is the point of that? And it makes it harder to play the game the first time you play.
Yeah.
And I've heard people back away from the game because it doesn't make sense. And that's sad because there is a good game in here.
Yeah.
And there is like I don't think really the symbols is the problem, because it is pretty good explained here and most of them make sense. There's a couple ones which are like, how does this work? But I felt like after the first time we played, it was easier to play the game.
Yeah, I agree. We needed a refresh on the rules though.
Yeah. And we watched the heavy cardboard playthrough, which I think you should
nice.
do. I think Gaming Rules also did one, but I think watching a video to play this game to get the rules is better than reading the rules, because the rulebook isn't very good, sadly. But that's enough about the rulebook.
Yeah, let's go over to the fun stuff.
Yeah, like we also talked a bit about artwork here. This is like kind of the graphic design basically, but the artwork here is really, you either like it or you don't. Where are you on this?
I actually, since I'm not like super into theme, I actually don't care as much. It's okay, but I'm not looking at it. I'm just like, oh, this guy's table presence, and nah, it's not that kind of game for me.
No, it is. It is okay. I wouldn't really buy this for the art, which I wouldn't for most games. Maybe Scythe. Maybe I bought that because it looked nice. Maybe.
Yeah, but not this.
Maybe I did that, but this I didn't do that for this. So, and the components are good. Like I especially enjoy the small experiment, or I don't remember the tiles that you have for each player. 8 tiles. Those are thick cardboard. Feels really sturdy, really nice.
Yeah, I agree.
Which we use to make your Philosopher's Stone themeless thing. Doesn't make sense, but yeah, that is the artwork and components. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
We have played 2 and 3 players.
Yes.
It has taken about 2 hours with both of those player counts, because we played pretty slow with 2 players and played the 2 hours with 3 players.
Yeah, I think it works great with both 2 and 3 players. I think it when you're scaling and adding more people to the game, it actually adds something.
Yes.
Because then you can piggyback on each other's actions and fight more over like the available experiments that come out, and also you can't really anticipate that good what the next die you're going to get is, so that's interesting.
I also think maybe this game might be hardest to play with 2. Because you have less players, you can do the follow-up action. Yeah. Because then, if I need something, and I cannot get the die because I need something else as well, it's a higher chance that 1 or 2 other players or 3 other players will take the die I need, and then I will be able to, I can do that follow-up action now.
Yes.
So maybe 2 players is actually tightest. Yeah. Which isn't really often the case in these kind of games. No, often you're like, I have so much freedom in 2 players, and with 4 players, like, Argh! But because of that, I feel like it is even more tight with 2 players, because it is either I can do that thing I want to or not.
Yeah, but I think it's really balanced actually, because when you're moving up on these like element, what do you call it, the essence tracks?
Yes.
Yeah, then you're more likely to get the bonuses on your way there because there's less competing for them.
With 2 players, yeah. But those bonuses doesn't really often help you with doing a transmute or doing those kind of things. So be able to, like, if I really need one kind of essence, it's easier to get that if I have 3 other players who will take a die. And I see like, you got that die now, so I can follow up and get that essence that I really needed to be able to do my experiment. So wait,
I think this is a heavy game. This is it's not melting my brain, but I have to like calculate and work really hard towards my goal to achieve anything. And you think that in the beginning of the game you're kind of ambitious. You're just like, I'm going to do this and maybe this, and you get like maybe one of those. Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to get to do what you want.
It's one of those games.
Yes.
It's super tight. It's one of those games where I'm so happy, like finally, now I have all the things I need. I can do that experiment. I look down and it's like, I need 7 up on the Earth track. I have 6, and there's no way for me to get that essence, which I could have gotten in more player game. But it's one of those games that you finally think you do something and you forgot one step of the puzzle.
Yeah.
So you have to turn your brain around and be able to, how can I work around this? Where can I get the last thing I need to be able to actually perform this stupid experiment to get those points and the bonuses?
But what do you think about the weight of it?
Oh yeah, I like that was basically why I was like, this. It's that kind of weight.
Yeah.
It's that kind of you have to plan everything. You have to do it in the right order. You have every action matters.
Yeah.
It's one of those games where you have very few actions.
Yes.
One of those games where you need every action to be a super good action. Yeah. It's not a game where you can, I'm just gonna take an essence. Don't really know what I need it for. Yes. You don't have time for that, because your die probably gonna have 3 or 4 potency. Some actions most of them cost 1, and to get an artifact, which is a really powerful thing that gives you bonuses, costs 3 potency. So that's almost 1 whole die usually.
Yeah.
And you only use 3 dice in each round. There's only 3 rounds. So there's really few actions in the game, and you need to balance them out. So it's even though, like, if you look away from the rules, like the rules in themselves there's a lot of rules, but it's not like a rule. It's not like the rules I'm forgetting. Like if the graphic design had been good or better, and the rules have been good written, then the rules wouldn't be like the super heaviest part here.
They would make sense.
Yes.
So you wouldn't like struggle with that. It's just that it is a lot to think about.
Too much to think about, really. And but it's a heavy game. I would absolutely say that.
Yes.
Yep. So the replayability here, I think, is good.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's cool that you have you can mix up like which person you are, so that the bonuses you get for completing experiments and the bonuses you can those kind of things are different.
The Philosopher's Stone is different.
Yeah.
Which is basically a grid of tiles.
Yeah.
But that's different, and also it will be kind of different depending on what kind of endgame scoring you get. Like there's a lot of that endgame scoring which makes you play differently. So I think there is like to solve the puzzle, like to be able to play this good, I think you would need to play it quite a few times just to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And then you have that there's 5 different people you can be with 5 different sets of tiles. And I think there's a lot of replayability.
Yeah, and this is also a game that I think you can get better at. I don't think you can like hack it or like find a way that always works, because you have to then be extremely lucky with the combination of like publications or something. But you can definitely feel a progress in your way of playing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. So we have talked a lot about all the things. So what do you like about the game, and is there anything you don't like about the game?
I really like. We played wrong the first time we played it. We played the insanely hard version.
Yes, that was
I don't
hard.
recommend that. I liked it much better like the second time around, because these publications that you have, you need symbols of each element to like get the publications out
at the end of the game.
Yes.
End of game scoring.
And the cool thing about the publications is that the symbols you're collecting is usually not the ones that you score for. So you use a lot of energy to get all the symbols, but you also have to get other symbols. Or else you're not getting points, usually. And we played so that the experiments didn't count towards that symbols.
Yeah, one rule I didn't remember when we played it, which made it really hard.
It made it like almost impossible, but I kind of like that about the publications, that you need one thing to finish them, but you need to score them as well.
Yeah, but there's a lot of different ones, like scoring for experiments you've done, scoring for all of the different things you can do in a game.
And I also really like the follow-up action reaction thingy that really helped me the last time, because as you said, I need one of that essence, but I don't need to choose a full die of with 3 potency in it. I really like that.
Yeah, so I like what you said. Like there is nothing really groundbreaking here. There's nothing really new. There's nothing that feels like, oh, this is a cool mechanism I haven't seen before. It is a dice drafting game. Like the potency thing is kind of different maybe, but it is a dice drafting game where instead of having pips, you have the symbol, and like the potency is maybe like the pips, but it's kind of random how much potency you get. But it's like a resource management optimization puzzle. Yeah. So there isn't really anything new here, but what is here is really solid and fun and hard and brain not melting, but maybe brain something, almost melting. Brain work. You have to work with your brain, which is good. So I do like it quite a bit, but there isn't like, and because of the graphic design and because of the, like, that is the things I like the least. It's the graphic design and the rules, which will make it harder for me to pick back up from the shelf and put it on the table and play it, because I will, if we play this like in 3 months now, I'll probably be like, okay, how did this work again? Because now we played it and we had been quite a while since we played it last, so we had to watch the whole video to be able to play it again. So that is maybe the things I don't like, and I do like most of the gameplay really, even though there isn't anything groundbreaking. I like how you try to optimize and trying to get the artifacts, which are really expensive but get you great bonuses when you get them, and when you transmute over them almost, and you get those bonuses which are really big, and that is, there's just like it's a tight resource management puzzle, which is something that heavy Eurogamers usually like. So it should be good.
Yeah, I agree with you. When you take away like the negatives with the rulebook and the graphic design, this is a super solid game. I really like how the timing kind of messes with you because you're just like in a regular like drafting game, when you draft one thing and do one thing with that die, you're just like, oh, I'm going to do this and this and then this. But what if these two you need like the same die, but not that one in the middle? But you can't waste that die either. I really like how that is done, and I think that it brings something really, although it's not unique. I think they've done a good job making like its own game.
Yeah, I like that you said. I like that you're stuck with the die.
Yeah.
That is one thing that makes this puzzle really interesting.
Yeah.
That what you said, I agree. I haven't thought about it like that, but I really agree with that. That feels so hard sometimes. That I want to do that one thing, but not all of them. So the follow-up action sometimes is good with that, but not always, because somebody else don't need to do that thing that you need to do, or they see that you need to do that and they want to take that die.
Yeah, so, and you also can't throw away when you die if you have like just one potency left in your die,
or more,
or need something really badly. Just throw it away. But you have so few points of potency to use. How can you waste that one? Yeah, so it's so tight.
It is. Should we do final thoughts?
Yes, I think we should.
Do you want to begin?
Yes, I think we pretty much summed it up already. What it is, it's super solid. I think it's pretty hard to get it on the table, sadly, because of, But the game itself, they get some minus points, unfortunately. But I'm going to rate it an 8 because the gameplay is super solid and I have so much fun playing it.
Yeah, or fun when you think that you can do something and you can't, and you get angry and then you get some points afterwards.
Yes.
But yeah, I totally agree. I think that this is a game that's it's sad that the rulebook is gonna be like a stopper for people, because if you get through that, watch a video or read the rules and actually play it, you will enjoy playing this game if you enjoy heavy Euro games. And I also going to give it an 8. There's really not too much to say. I agree with most of what you said, and we said most of it in the video.
Yes.
So that's the end of this review, right?
Yes.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so right now. It's free and fun. We do 3 videos every week right now, which is something we're going to try to continue doing, which is fun.
It's so fun.
It is. So that is the end of this video. A new one is coming soon. I'm Johannes.
And I'm Suna.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.